back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to style built-ins. Built-ins are one of my favourite things to style. It's really a moment you can create in your home that just speaks to who you are as a person and your personality without you having to say anything at all. Every styling moment, every design decor piece on your built-in will be very much unique to you. No two built-ins are the same, and that's probably why I love styling them so much. My built-ins in my home are in our living room. These are in the alcove of our fireplace, and I absolutely love them. I've always loved Victorian homes where they have those built-ins, the traditional ones where you have like the hidden storage at the bottom and then floor to ceiling shelving almost, where you can just put all your beautiful objects out on display. As I've spoken about many a times in videos and on my Instagram, we rent, so we couldn't create the traditional built-ins because that would have caused too much damage and too much money. So we've created these kind of faux built-ins which I think work perfectly for what we needed, and I get my deposit back at the end of the day, which is perfect. I absolutely love our built-ins. They are one of my favourite styling moments in our home. Anytime I glance at them, I smile because I just love what I've done there. This is one of my favourite things to photograph, and it never fails me. These tips that I'm going to give you very much can translate across your home onto any styling built-in moment that you need, whether it be a bookcase or a shelf, anything that you require a little personality design moment. These tips will work perfectly for that. So without further ado, let's talk about how to style your built-ins. So the first thing you're going to do is gather all your objects together, and gather more than you think you're going to use on the shelf. You'll be surprised at how much you mix and match and change things over, and you really want more than you need to spark those creative moments in your mind. When you're gathering items, you need to think about frames, vases, coffee table books, personal objects, anything that, like I said, will speak to who you are as a person without you having even to say a word to a guest. My next tip is to think of triangles, and by that I'm talking about two in particular. The first triangle is the main, most important triangle, which is the overall triangle that you create on your shelf. And this will be having some height at the middle, top shelf, with some width going out, and then obviously down, creating that triangle effect. The next triangles you need to think about are the individual triangles that you create with your groupings, and you'll see that in the three sections that I have on my built-ins, there's almost that moment of height at the top, going out and then back in again. These mini triangles along with the overall triangle is what will create that design moment in your home. So now that we've got all our objects together and we know what we're aiming in terms of triangles, now it's time to do our groupings. As I've spoken about, you'll see on my shelves behind me, I have 3 individual moments across each shelf. You may only have 2 or 1 depending on the width of your shelving. When it comes to creating your groupings, you really want to group 2 to 3 objects together and a mixture of them. So to create that interest, you may want to put a couple of frames together with a couple of coffee table books, or coffee table books with a few decor objects. You also want to be aware with your groupings of what's going on around them. You never really want the same grouping sat on top or next to each other. Again, with my built-ins, you'll see I have a couple of photo frames out of personal memories, but none of them sit directly next to each other. They actually sit more in a diagonal line, which is more pleasing to the eye. What you really want to achieve is when you look at it straight on, that your eye dances, and that is what will create the design moment interest and really elevate your space. When you're creating these groupings and styling out on the shelf, don't forget about white space. You'll have the urge to really just put everything on there and get out as much as possible on the built-ins, but resist. You really want that blank space just to create that moment of relax for the eye and just that breather. You'll see like on the bottom shelf, which is actually our chest of drawers that we use to create that built-in look, we actually have a moment where we create a gap in the middle, and that is just to allow people to breathe and just relax before they go into the rest of the shelving. And now we're going to talk about general styling tips, these little moments in the groupings that you're creating that will add to the overall effect. One of my favourite things to do is to stack 2 to 3 coffee table books on top of each other to create height. That is what creates that vignette, that moment where your eye dances across from up grouping to grouping. Another thing I like to do is play with depth. So you'll see with these two little groups of photo frames behind me, one of them is stacked in front of each other. Don't be afraid to do that because it will show the depth of your shelving unit, making your room seem bigger. Something you'll also want to consider is grouping different materials and tones together. So you'll see behind me we've almost got the linen of one of the books with a bit of a dark clay with the wooden candlesticks. These are the moments. And again, tones, you really don't want to have too many light things together. You want that clash. And finally, just play around. You're never going to get it right the first time. You'll be surprised at how much time I actually spent on these shelvings, just playing with different objects. That is it for my tips on how to style your built-ins. I do hope you found this short video useful. Do like this video if you did, and let me know down in the comments below which tips you're going to use in your home and which shelving unit you are going to decorate next. I also just wanted to let you know about my e-design room packages that I'm now providing on my website. These are online design services whereby you'll fill out a form, and after initial consultation and a couple of redesigns, I will present you with a document which will be a design board which shows you the inspiration, the exact items that I think you should use, and then a space plan where I will show you exactly how to lay out your room in order to achieve the design that I'm dreaming of for you. It's basically taking out the hassle of redesign for you. You'll just be presented with a step-by-step guide so that you just need to crack on with the work and have a room that is as gorgeous as you are. I'll link down below where you can fill out the form for initial consultation if you are interested. Thank you again for watching this video. Do like, rate, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye.